Hey, good morning, mountain athletes. Welcome to another edition of Breathwork Training with me, your coach, Anthony LaRubio. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the founder and head coach here at Recal Training. We have helped hundreds of athletes climb some of the highest mountains in the world and finish in some of the most grueling ultra marathons using our special high altitude breathwork training program. So for today, we're just going to need you to sit down or find a yoga mat and lie down. That's the only piece of equipment that you're going to have that's necessary for today. I opened up, you may have heard last week, and asked the question of what do you want to see from our Monday training sessions? And what I heard from you is that you want to focus more on recovery. So I'm assuming that you've done a lot of the hard training work over the weekend and you're coming into this Monday looking to downshift the nervous system, maybe get more oxygenation going in the body. And you're looking to maybe create a nice, well rounded mindset to take on the week that's ahead. And so that's what we're going to focus on today. We're not going to do any of the challenging breathwork training sessions, which we have plenty of those on our Basecamp platform. And you can even see that here. We've got training sessions for high altitude simulation there, respiratory muscle training, a lot of different styles of breathwork training for you mountain athletes, but that's available on Basecamp. Today, we're going to focus on recovery. So from that seated position, hopefully you found your way there. Let's go ahead and begin with a few physiological sighs. If you don't remember what those are, that's a double inhale through the nose and then an exhale through the mouth, just to kind of reset the system for this morning's session. So go ahead and take an inhale through your nose, pause for a moment, sniff in again, exhale out through your mouth. Good, just let that go with a big sigh. Again, in, exhale. We'll do two more. In, out. Last one. In, and out. Go ahead and roll your shoulders. Shake out whatever needs shaken. We're going to start as we typically do with a little nose unblocking exercise. So take an inhale through your nose and then an exhale. And pinch your nose at the bottom of that exhale. Gently nod your head up and down. We're just opening up the nasal airway, unblocking our nose, increasing carbon dioxide in the blood, and also bringing in nitric oxide. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Release. Breathe in through your nose right after. Take a few normal breaths. Again, take an inhale and an exhale. Pinch your nose, hold your breath, gently nod your head up and down. Start to observe what's happening in your body right now. Bring your attention inward for the next 15 minutes. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Breathe in through the nose now. Good. Breathe normally for the next few breaths. I'm going to focus a lot on turning the attention inward, noticing where you're breathing, how you're engaging your diaphragm, how your rib cage is moving. And just notice any of the feelings that are happening in the body as we go through today's recovery-focused breathwork training session. One more time, take an inhale through your nose, and then an exhale. Pinch and hold, and nod your head up and down. Stay here with me for 3, 2, 1. Gently release your nose. Breathe in. Good. We're going to go from here into breathe light. Again, I like to do some of the same breathwork training exercises to start off a breathwork training session. So we're sticking with those. Breathe light is a simple exercise. We literally are going to breathe lighter than we normally would. What might help with that is if you place your finger just beneath your nose, take a couple of normal breaths in through the nose and out. And maybe you notice the air as it runs across your finger on the way in and back out across your finger on the way out. Relax your shoulder. Don't hold any tension there. And begin to breathe more slowly now so that you can barely feel the air as it comes in and out through your nose. During breathe light, you're trying to simply breathe lighter than you normally would, more slowly than you normally would. You're going to bring in a bit less volume, especially on the inhale. We want to bring in a bit less volume than normal. And then on the exhale, you can passively exhale and land at that same neutral lung space that you normally would on a very natural and passive exhale. It's really just that inhale that may be a bit less. And as you're breathing lighter and slower, you might already feel that sensation of air hunger, the feeling like you want to take a much deeper breath. What's happening here and why this is important for recovery and not just carbon dioxide tolerance, which you may have heard me say before, which helps with the feeling of breathlessness. The reason why this is helpful for recovery is that we're taking the oxygen that's already in our blood, and with this drop in pH of the blood, it's becoming more acidic because there's a rise in carbon dioxide in the blood because you're not exhaling that carbon dioxide, right? With that drop in pH, you're allowing the hemoglobin in your red blood cells of your blood to release that oxygen off and out to the muscle tissue. So again, we're getting oxygen into the blood, and now we're getting it out of the blood and into muscle tissue. We're going to use this logic later in today's session as we get deeper into our recovery breathing protocols. So stick with it for the next 30 seconds. You can do it. Breathe light, breathe slow, and breathe not as deep as you normally would on the inhale. You're here for 15 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and release. Breathe normally. Good. Let's go ahead and warm up the rib cage a bit, warm up the breathing muscles. One of my favorite things to do for this is something that I call the rope climber. So it's very simple. Sitting up nice and straight in that chair, you're going to reach up above your head and pretend that you're bringing down this imaginary rope, like you're climbing up this imaginary rope. Reach tall with each hand, one at a time. And again, just focus on how you're breathing. Can you feel your rib cage expand with each and every breath? Reach for just 5 more pulls of that rope. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake it out. Let's massage the rib cage a bit. Again, I'm assuming that you did some hard work this past weekend, whether that was on the mountain, in the gym, on the treadmill, on the Stairmaster, whatever creative bit of equipment that you use to get your workout done. Today, we are going to be recovering from that workout. That may include some of those breathing muscles that got a workout. Maybe you did some of our breathwork training this past weekend. Reach underneath the rib cage as well and see if you can feel that diaphragm in there. Again, that's that dome-shaped muscle just beneath the rib cage. See if you can just massage the very ends of that at the attachment points on the rib cage. You can even work into the back. Here, you're not going to feel the diaphragm. It's just more rigid back there as it connects to your spinal column. But still, massage the back. Good. Let's take a couple of deep breaths together. Deeply inhale. Feel the rib cage expand. And then passively exhale, let it go. One more time. Deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Good, nice job. What we're going to do now is an exercise called the breath wave. Okay. I want you to feel the motion of your breathing. We're going to take a few deep breaths. Just a fair warning, taking deep breaths may make you feel a bit lightheaded. It could also make you feel a little bit tingly as we're offloading a lot of carbon dioxide. Calcium ion levels in the blood are dropping. That creates a bit of excitability in the muscles. So you may feel some of that in your forearms, your fingers, etc. You also can create a bit of vasoconstriction of those arteries up to the brain. You have enough oxygen in the system. It's just that feeling of the vasoconstriction that causes some lightheadedness. So just a few warnings on that's what happens when we take a few deep breaths. If at any point those are too uncomfortable for you, just slow down, come back to light, slow breathing. The breath wave, what I invite you to do and how to do that is place one hand up on your chest, one hand on your belly. And first, I want you to breathe in through your nose and feel that lower hand rise. It's going to move forward. And take a natural exhale and feel that belly fall back down. Good. I'm going to move to the side a bit so that you can see me a bit better. We're just focused on moving this lower hand. Nice. Good. Now we're going to put these two pieces together. Actually, let's start with just this chest hand now. Breathe up and fill up the upper parts of your lungs and feel the chest expand up there. Let's try to isolate that movement first. You might notice some more shoulder movement when you do that. For the record, this is not a diaphragmatic breath. This is not the way that I want you to breathe 24/7. This is just a very specific targeted protocol. Now we're going to put it together. Let's first breathe into that lower hand. Feel the belly rise. Continue your inhale and feel this upper hand fill up as well. Exhale through your mouth. Just let the air go. Nice. Let's do 5 of those together. You might notice this is a wave-like motion. The belly rises, the chest, and then you exhale and let it go. 2 more. And now relax, breathe normally. You might feel some of those sensations I mentioned, maybe a little bit of lightheadedness, possible tingling in the hands or the feet. What we're doing there is trying to utilize the full lung capacity. So we're bringing in as much oxygen as we can into the lungs, creating some stronger pressure in our alveoli, which is going to help in diffusing that oxygen into the bloodstream. Okay. We're also trying to take these big, deep breaths, right? But over the course of maybe 5 to 10 seconds is that full inhale. That's going to eliminate some dead space as well, which is that unused space in your airways. We want to get as much oxygen into the system as possible doing this. We're going to do this again now, okay? Again, this is from a seated position, or you can hop down onto the ground, onto a yoga mat if you want to do that and just completely relax. If you do that, I advise you to go in a hook lying position. That's with your feet flat on the ground and your knees at a 90-degree angle if you go onto the ground. What we're going to do is that breath wave. Then after we're done with a round of maybe 10 of those breaths, we're going to go right into breathe light. So we're getting oxygen into the system through the lungs and into the bloodstream. And then through breathe light, as I mentioned before, we're dropping the pH of the blood due to the fact that carbon dioxide is rising in the blood, and the oxygen is going to get out of the hemoglobin and into our muscle tissue to promote recovery. We're going to do at least 1 round of this. Okay. So hopefully you've settled into that position. Let's start with the breath wave. Let's go for 10 breaths together. That's 3. Continue on for 7 more. On your own, just find your own pace here. Once again, turn your attention inward. What's happening inside your body as you breathe? Are you feeling that lightheadedness? Are you feeling that diaphragm do a lot of work as it pumps the air into the low part of your lungs? Are you feeling your intercostal muscles work as your chest expands with each and every breath? Let's go for just 2 more breaths now. Last one. Deeply in, pull in the air. Let it go. And now we're going into breathe light. Breathe very lightly and slowly through your nose. You can use your finger as a guide or just keep your hands in your lap. As you breathe in slowly, are you breathing so slowly that you can barely feel the air move the hairs inside your nose? And as you breathe out, are you breathing out with relaxation, letting the air go very slowly and hitting that point of neutral lung where the pressure inside your lungs is the same as outside your lungs? Inhale very slowly and lightly, not bringing in as much air as normal. And as you drop into this very slow pace of breathing, do you notice that feeling of air hunger? The feeling like you want to take a much bigger breath. This directly is your central chemoreceptors in your brainstem gauging the pH of your blood, and that is a sign that carbon dioxide is rising in the blood. This is helping the oxygen detach from the hemoglobin in your red blood cells and get into your muscle tissues, again, promoting recovery. Let's stay here for another 10 seconds. If you're just joining us, we're doing recovery breathing now from a seated position or lying down on the ground, breathing very slowly in and out through the nose. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath together. And then let that carbon dioxide go. I'm sure that feels really good. Okay, we're going to go in and do another round of this. But at the end of our breath wave exercise, we're going to drop into a long tail exhale. That simply means while we may inhale on a count of 3 or on a count of 4, we're going to exhale on a count of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. We're going to get much longer with those exhales. That's going to help downshift the nervous system, allow you to relax, and also it's going to again bring up that carbon dioxide in the blood and promote recovery. All right. Breath wave is what we're doing now. One hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Breathe in through the belly first. Bring it into the chest. Exhale it out. Good. 9 more. 8 more. Good. Continue at your pace. I'm going to show you what the importance behind recovery is. We're looking to reoxygenate the body, which is what we're doing with this breath wave exercise. Then when we go into breathe light, or in this case, long tail exhale, we're going to re-acidify the body. And then last, we're going to reboot the nervous system. These are our 3 R's of recovery. Keep on breathing. 3 more breaths now. 2 more breaths now. And this is your last breath. Make this the deepest one yet. Bring in that oxygen. And as you let it go softly. And take an inhale with me for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to make our inhale a bit faster now. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8 now. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 9 this time. Just relax as you exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale. And now exhale for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. And we're exhaling for 11 seconds now. 10, 9, 8. Just relax your mind. Observe your body. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale for 12 seconds. As you exhale, your heart rate is slowing down. 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale. And we're going to exhale very slowly. I want you to exhale as long as you possibly can for this last exhale. You might feel that carbon dioxide has risen in the blood. Feel that feeling of air hunger. And when you're done with that exhale, just come back to normal breathing. Maybe your eyes are still closed. And maybe you just focus on your breath. Feel the air come in through your nose. Feel the air go out through your nose. Noticing how your body feels from possibly that training over the weekend. Notice how your body feels on a Monday morning. Take a moment to offer yourself a bit of gratitude for showing up, for putting in some work, for breathing with me. Once again, I want to thank you so much for joining. If your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and blink them open. I hope you enjoyed today's recovery session. It's all about getting oxygen into the system, into the blood, and then into the muscle tissue. That's what we're all about. We're also here, obviously, to reset the mind as well. And I hope you enjoyed today's session. Once again, my name is Anthony LaRubio from here at Recal. If you're not already on our Basecamp platform, I highly encourage you to do that. That is where we do so much fun stuff. We have our community platform of hundreds of athletes from around the world that are training for big challenges in the mountains, ultra marathons, big expeditions. Shout out to all of those of you who are training for Aconcagua right now as that season's underway. So join us there if you're not already. And lastly, if you haven't already, I encourage you to take your RBI, the Recal Breath Index. That gives you an idea on exactly how well you breathe. And then it gives you an idea on what things you can work on to improve your breathing. All right, that's it for today. Once again, thank you so much for joining. I'm Anthony from here at Recal. See you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.